So today I'm gonna do something I don't really do, nor do I intend on really doing much more of, but I'm gonna do a gun review today. Um, Solely it's bear season now where I live. I spend a fair amount of time outside, and last year I had a encounter where just over there, maybe 100 yards from the house, I was going around checking. We've got a creek over there, and I was just looking around and had a bear cub come up and pass me and run up a tree behind me, and the mother obviously get flustered and move around. Nothing really came of it. Um, I just kept eye contact with the bear, slowly backed away from the situation, got on the other side of the cub and came to the house. The mother bear never got aggressive towards me, never charged me or anything like that. But given the reality of the situation, I mean, that's basically a worst case scenario. I did have my gun on me then, and if I had to do something at the point, I could have. Um, anyway, so I carry a firearm out here. Definitely on the four-wheeler, pretty much whenever we're outside up here. Also, there's a fair amount of moose up here. Again, I've never had any troublesome contact with a moose, but it's certainly feasible, and when they're in rut, the males can be really dangerous. So that's why I carry a firearm. I have no interest in getting into the politics of carrying a firearm or not carrying a firearm. I mostly, 99% of the reason I carry a firearm is to protect myself and the people around me against animals, which is a rare occurrence, and had the thing with the bear not happen to me, I don't even know if I would necessarily carry all the time, but it did happen to me and happened on my house 100 yards from it, so I carry when I'm in the woods out here. I carry most of the time this year. But anyways, that's that. Um, so, so anyways, when it came time to buy a firearm, I didn't have $1 million. I've got a couple of guns, but I wanted something that I could carry that had a multitude of uses, wasn't too large, had the capacity to put down a bear or stop or slow down a moose. So after looking at it and then cost-wise, I honed in on a 357 revolver. Started looking at 357 revolvers. I wanted to buy something new. I didn't want to buy something used. I do have some background in firearms, and I'll talk about that a little bit more here in a minute. I'll go in the house and sit down and kind of talk about it a little bit more. But anyway, so looked at Smith & Wesson, obviously, of course, where I started, and really, really expensive. I mean, I was looking at around $1,000 for what I wanted, and it just couldn't afford it. So I adjusted my idea then. So anyway, so after looking at reviews and stuff like that, like I finally honed in on Taurus 605 357. And I'll sit down and show it and actually talk about it a little bit more, but to give some perspective on this is a Galco police holster. It does have the thumb brake over the back, which is something I wanted. Just being on the four-wheeler, moving around, there's times I'll be running a chainsaw and tools. I wanted it to stay put, and I was less concerned about being able to have a quick draw on it, more worried about retention than I was being able to quickly pull it out. If I were to come across a bear or a moose, it's not going to be just such a quick action as maybe a self-defense scenario would be. So I want it to be more secure than I am concerned about being able to quickly draw it. But also, and this is the 2.5-inch, 3-inch barrel. I don't know. I'll look. Maybe I'll put it in there. Maybe I'll put the thing for Taurus in there. But I really like this. With this light jacket on, you can't see it. I don't like in the waistband holsters. They're just not very comfortable. I had a paddle holster for this, which actually worked fine. In fact, worked very well. I have no problems with it. But it just didn't have the retention I wanted. I was worried about it coming out the top. But anyway, so yeah, you see it carries well. I mean, it's there. I can get to it. I just heavy leather belt with it. But yeah, if I decide to go into town or something like that, I don't think twice about it. Where I live, well, it's New Hampshire, so A, it's legal for me to open carry. B, I have a concealed permit. And just up here, it's not a problem. If you go into the grocery store, if I have this on in the grocery store and I'm bent over and somebody can see it, nobody's freaking out up here. Plenty of people carry. Handful of people up here carry open carry. When it's hunting season, most of the hunters carry a sidearm uh, for bear and moose and whatever. So you'll see them eating breakfast and being around. It's not abnormal to see somebody open carrying up here. Anyways, so I'm gonna get a little bit closer in and we'll talk about the firearm and a couple other things. Anyways, hold on. Okay, so we'll talk about this a little bit further. I'll try not to make this the longest video ever, but I do want to definitely kind of be in depth with it. So, one, this is the holster. This is the Galco Cop series. The two numbers on it, DC19T, and then I think 1608 is the actual code for the holster. Fantastic holster. Rides nice and high. Somewhat limited in your ability to quick draw out of it, but doesn't matter. Highly recommend this holster. Get a good holster. I mean, come on. You're gonna buy a gun and then put it in a crappy holster is ridiculous. So, first of all, the gun. I've had zero issues, first of all. Taurus, I think, is a fine gun. Oh no, you all have my serial number now. Oh no, you're gonna do evil things. I've never really understood that, but whatever. Anyway, so there it is. So, the gun's dirty because I clean it ever so often, but I carry it and it gets dirty. What can I say? That's why I bought a revolver. So, first of all, I'm really happy with this gun. When I bought it, I have no idea on the specs or anything. I just know how it feels. Really amazed at how well the trigger works. It's a very good trigger. It is just a 2-inch barrel. I think the effective range of this is 15 yards with practice. And I do mean with practice. I mean, but you should be practicing with any firearm. But 15 yards with some practice, you can be plenty accurate. When I'm shooting more often, which is less these days because of the cost of ammo, I can hit target size at 25 yards. If I had more ammo, I would maybe I'll put in some can shooting or something like that. But this gun can be effective at 25 yards with practice and with 357 in it. 38, it's okay, but the 357 is certainly flatter. So let's talk a little bit more about that. So stock, this gun came with this grip, which is a tiny little thing. Be better for concealed carry. But I think if you did that, you'd be putting yourself in a situation of only really shooting like plus P38 ammo. I don't think with that grip on it, you'll be nearly as effective with a 357. I'm sure it's doable, anything with practice, but in my opinion, if you're going to shoot 357, which you should be shooting 357, well, that's not true. As far as using this for personal defense, I would say absolutely plus P38 round is a better thing anyways. Less pass through. The ammunition's fine. You're talking within 5 yards, and whatever, 38 plus P would be perfect, be fine, and then I'd put the regular handle on there. So, but I have Packmeyers on it for a few reasons. One, I wanted to have a good, comfortable, larger handle or grip on it, just to be able to shoot it better. I mean, the sights aren't great. Does take some use, you want it to be comfortable. But there's also another reason to that. So this is kind of my gun that I would carry. I don't know, it's my all-around carry gun as far as wilderness stuff. It's just a 22. It's an older Smith & Wesson. I can't remember the model number. It's a 22. It's a very popular gun. Yeah, I can't remember it. Anyways, this gun is ridiculously nice. This was actually my mother's gun. I don't know if you can tell, but it's got jeweled trigger and hammer on it. This has a trigger job on it. Professionally gunsmith gun. This thing is sweet. If you can't hit something with this gun, you can't hit anything. If you get the sights on it with the 22 within reason, you can hit it. So that gave me a good indicator as far as what I expected out of a trigger. And I'm really pleased with the trigger action on the Taurus. I think it's plenty adequate. Could it use some gunsmithing to smooth it out? Maybe. But out of the box for what it is, I think it's fine. Yeah, all around I think it's fine. The value on it's good. I think I paid around $400 in my area, which is New Hampshire. Obviously things change. I don't know what the pricing can be. You have to find out for yourself. I assume if you're watching this, you're probably considering buying it. The 2-inch barrel, as far as shooting a bear, shooting a moose, is pretty limiting. You're gonna have to hit it. But I think the capacity of the firearm's okay. So we'll get into talking about ammo for it. So buffalo bore, 1400 feet per second, 180 grain, and they are they're not jacketed hollow points or anything like that. They're solid core. I'm not even gonna open it. You can look it up. Anyways, they're solid core. This gun is meant to shoot a bear dead, stone dead, and if I'm lucky, stop a moose from killing me. So solid core bullets. I don't want expansion, I want penetration. That's just all there is to it. And this gun is right at the edge of capacity of shooting those 1400 foot per second rounds. We'll do it. I don't think the gun is going to deteriorate. I don't shoot the hot stuff in there enough to be worried about it. But you'll feel it. You'll know it's there. I'll try and put in some footage at the end. But anyway, so that's kind of my 2 cents in a nutshell of this firearm. I think it's an awesome value. I think what you would pay more for the Smith & Wesson and refinement and stuff like that, I get it, I understand it. If I could afforded it, I would have done it. But all in all, I don't think this is lesser of a firearm in the end at all. After many years and thousands of rounds, will the Beware maybe more so than the Smith & Wesson? Maybe. I don't think I'll ever put this through that. But anyways, to not let this thing go on for a million years, yeah, that's just kind of my deal on the Taurus 605. I think it's an excellent firearm. I think for the money, you couldn't do any better. So there you go. Thanks for watching.